Last time on Kenshi, slavery.
Technology!
More slavery. Self-defense.
You're setting me free. Ugh. Please, I have no chance against all of you.
Stake burning. Trading. And so much more I couldn't be fucked to record or edit into this sequence. We were the cream of the goddamn crop, alright? We had just reinforced Castle Swagenstein with a bunch of new guards, all biological. They needed food, but so what? We had a meat barrel, alright? Who doesn't want to eat at the meat barrel? A couple guys apparently, and they almost starved to death. That wasn't really my problem, though. Yeah, in lieu of, like, other meats and whatnot, raw meat, cooked meat, we had food cubes. Food cubes are dope. You gave a guy a food cube, and he could live in your cage for days. We were still really embarrassed about not getting any technology after going south. Not as much as we'd like, at least. We brought back a little bit. But we still couldn't find any of those good goods, you know? The good books that Tom Cruise keeps talking about, the Scientology books. Also, I fuck you not, this is a video of Tom Cruise accepting an award. A Scientology medal, actually. At some sort of, like, Scientologist, I don't know, award ceremony. And all that aside, the most interesting part of our journey was committing human rights violations on dust bandits. And like, yeah, sure, it's fun like the first and second time, but after a while it's like, what are you even doing anymore? So fast forward a couple of, what do you call it? They're not a culture, so it wouldn't be like a cultural extinction, they're still around. I mean, fucking if anyone would know, the dust bandits are still around. They come and attack my camp every 10 goddamn minutes and get the ground stomped in on them, so yeah, they're still around. Despite my best efforts. But we now had a defense force at Castle Swagenstein, so they could stop just, you know, walking around and taking shit at random. We had heard somewhere that there's this place up north called the Foglands, where there's some nice, juicy tech. And I won't lie, this was me when I found out, you know, there's like gonna be tech up there. So I actually disconnected my microphone while slamming my hands against the desk. So you actually don't know how I reacted. And probably never will. So after reconnecting my microphone, we decided to head north into the Foglands. We genuinely had no idea what was up there. So we just like clicked a random spot on the map and went. After a bit of traveling, we had finally made it to the Foglands. Oh, cool tags. The Foglands were a harsh and very brutal area to go in. You couldn't really see a lot of what was going on. Random guys just started attacking you for absolutely no reason. I assume they were hungry, but they weren't going to get any food from us because it's like the same fucking thing with the starving bandits. We're robots. Even if they wanted to cannibalize us, they're eating metal. Anyway, after encountering a few more disgruntled locals, we decided to head up to Mongrel, a town that we had just discovered on our map. Upon arriving in Mongrel, I was actually surprised at how populated it was. It was one of the more populated towns I'd ever seen in the game. But then again, I hadn't been to a lot of towns, so it's not like I would fucking know. We made the most of our unexpected stop, and we decided to gear up on armor, anything we could really get. We were hoping to buy some technology books here, but we didn't really find any. Instead, what we found was one of the most socially inept creatures I had ever laid my eyes upon.
Beep.
Hi, Beep.
How do you know my name?
You said beep for no reason, so I thought maybe you were introducing yourself.
You must be some kind of genius then.
Or Haragru, are you taking the piss?
Sir, I would never steal your piss.
What?
Sorry, I beep when I'm nervous.
That's a bit weird.
They exiled me from the hive.
Just because you kept saying beep.
I am defective. Not good for hive. But Beep doesn't give up. Beep is strong. Since I left the hive, I can feel my mind changing the way I think. I feel free, having thoughts I never had before. I want freedom, but everywhere I go things try to kill me or chase me. Deep tired of running. Time to stab the things that chase me.
Does this guy want money? Beep, while not a skeleton, was now an honorary member of our brotherhood. We decided now that it was the best time for a glow-up. Yeah, surprisingly enough, we were actually kicking ass out there. We kept Beep off to the side because he was a little too precious to lose at the moment, but after a while we slowly started bringing him into the battles. Going up north a little more, we found this place with a bunch of bone hands. It was weird. I got really nothing to say about it. It was just fucking weird. But while the bone land was weird, we managed to find some tech. Oh my god, there's so much tech. Oh my god, there's so much fucking tech. Oh my god, oh my god, there's tech everywhere. Oh my god, oh my god, there's fucking tech everywhere. Oh my shit, there's tech everywhere. Oh my god, oh my god. An accident had occurred. Beep was injured. We were rushing to the biggest settlement that we knew in the area, which would be Mongrel to the south in the Foglands. Problem is, the Foglands aren't very hospitable, and reports that we had heard from randoms and other people we had probably murdered was that the Fogmen hordes were growing. This made a very bad situation a whole hell of a lot worse, because the Bone Squad was very, very, very fucking exhausted from their last adventure. We'd gotten the shit kicked out of us by robots, more robots that looked like us, and some Fogmen. And we were at our breaking point physically, and well, not mentally. We don't really have a mental thing going on there. On the plus side, Beep was now able to walk again. He had regained consciousness, which meant we had another man defending the squad. Normally, we would put Beep off to the side and let the hardened veterans tank it out, but at this point, we really had no choice if we wanted to get back to Mongrel alive. Another bonus, Beep found a new hat. The sun had set once again in the Foglands, and all we had was our trusty lamp. Things were tense. The fog was thick. Everything sat still. And then they came. The Fogmen just kept pouring in by the dozen, and we were hopelessly outnumbered. Far away from Mongrel, there was no chance of security helping us out. Not to mention the fact that Beep was straying away from the group because AI is fucking retarded and will do anything to piss me off. We were being overwhelmed and it wasn't looking good. Beep had gone unconscious at some point during the fight. At this point, we were dropping like flies. I called the retreat. The Fogmen weren't having it, and while we were getting back up from our unconscious states relatively quickly, they just kept beating us down. If they couldn't eat us, they'd just fucking kill us. We stayed in a cat and mouse game of, oh, I'm unconscious, oh, you're awake, let me club you in the head again so you stay unconscious for another 5 minutes. It was very fucking annoying. But after like 10 minutes of just sitting there and watching Big Daddy tank like 3 guys until he got hit in the head, we finally managed to get out. When the first of our group arrived in Mongrel, we realized that Beep was not with us. It seemed the AI wanted to do a lot more than piss me off, instead sending me into an outright fury. The first course of action would be to circle jerk a skeleton bed because those guys had kicked the absolute crap out of us and there was no way we were going back in there. We weren't very good time-wise. The skeleton bed idea was kind of awful and it took us over an hour. That combined with the insane amount of people between us and Beep, When we had finally reached the delectable fucking cesspit that was their camp, the place where they were holding Beep, he wasn't there. Our worst fears were confirmed. The fog pricks had eaten Beep. They left nothing except a katana and a pile of blood. We would bring that katana home. Home to Castle Swagenstein. A place Beep had only heard about. But I'm sure he would have loved it.